the whole Candace Owens situation is wild as shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to say that she's telling the truth, but I also feel like she's kind of reaching. But at the same time, I don't really know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to believe. Well, I don't want to believe that, fucking Charlie's Kirk's wife plotted the assassination of her husband. Uh, which is a crazy accusation, you know what I'm saying, to go with in the first place. That's a wild accusation. I don't know. I sit there and I think to myself, I don't really know uh if that's the case. I was doing something. I was investigating something, right? And I got some files from, a credible source of mine. He gave me these files, and it was like literally like a bunch of corporations, and like you'll get like certain people asking like questions and stuff about asking questions like about like family members and stuff, and they were requesting like provider information, right? I asked someone who was in the healthcare industry. I asked them, I was like, what is provider information? And they were just like, it's pretty much the insurance information that the hospital or the facility would, get. But then, I started looking more into it because it would have like the place's location, and then it would have the reason for the request. So they would have like providers information and stuff like that. Um what else? They had who ordered the request, right? So if I made a request to get the provider information for Jane Doe, and I'm not a relative of Jane Doe, and I don't know who Jane Doe is. I'm not a close family member. What I need a provider information for? Uh, like one person on there, he was a husband asking for provider information for a deceased patient. I was like, why would the husband need that information? People like elderly people and people who like sickly people or uh business minded like people, they you never know what they got. So like it's not uncommon for like the wife to assassinate the husband, take out $1,000 insurance policy. You know what I'm saying? Realistically, you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Charlie Kirk's wife did that, but bottom line, the thing is like when you track money, you know what I'm saying, and people start to ask questions, you know, that's when you can kind of really see the investigative work. Like I said, there was a hospital on there that they had a requestee request information, like on the document, what's really going on. And most of the time, if you ask like investigating questions, they're not going to answer. They're not gonna just gonna say, "Hey, I was calling to see if we could try to cover up how we got this money." They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna just be like, "Yeah, bruh, we're gonna tell you that we laundered $40,000 from this deceased resident who doesn't have any family members, but they have a life insurance policy for $250,000." You know what I mean? Let's make sure everything's legal, right? you know. So, yeah, man. I mean, and like I said, that's all like assumption too. You gotta do more research. You gotta look into what people are doing. You gotta like really look into that. Now, I saw a lot of people talking about like Alex Jones and shit. They were like, She's fucking lying. She's lying. She's da 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 da. She's lying. That bitch don't know what she's talking about. She probably don't know what she talking. She probably don't know what she talking about. But when you have a meeting, you had a meeting with the woman. You know what I'm saying? Candace Owens had a meeting with Charlie Kirk's wife. That's crazy, bro. Like I don't really know the full context of that, but she had a whole meeting with that woman. And what was that about? Like what did y'all talk about? What was that discussion about? Yeah, I know you killed your husband. You gonna say it to my face? Damn right. You damn right. Like, that's what that conversation was about. Like, and it looked weird because it's like they said she had text messages, they said she had photos of stuff like that. She assumed France's president was gonna kill her and whatnot. That's crazy accusations, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. That seems like a wild accusation to think that foreign government is gonna kill you. But they say, and I don't want this to come off as anti-Semitic, but I don't know. I got a document where they said that allegedly Israel uh assassinated JFK. That's the alleged rumor, you know what I'm saying? And when this is another thing too. You could look up certain documents and you'll start to question certain stuff. They got a bunch of redacted photos that they haven't explained yet why they're redacted. You find that weird that you can't explain why something like this looks like, what I'm saying, is redacted. Now, if it and then they even said it recently, like they may brush past it, but uh there's not even enough like to even say. That's what they're trying to say, is that there's not enough to even prove that he was doing anything sexual. But then you got to raise the question: what's he doing around all these fucking kids? You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck is Michael Jackson? Why the fuck is Diana Ross there? See, now you start looking at shit like, okay, nothing is above nobody. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is above nobody. And Congress is weird too. See, they've already seen. Yeah, Congress is weird too. But you know what I'm saying? But Congress is weird as fuck. Like, what will possess you to like? And this is why I said it's weird. Like they've seen what the DOJ already has. They already seen what Pam Bundy already has. They've already seen what Pam Bundy has. The fact that you guys are sitting next to the people that were doing this is weird. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Think about it, you got Bill Clinton all over this shit. You know what I'm saying? All over this goddamn thing. Like you you know what I'm saying? You would sit there and you would think, man, not my heroes. You know what I'm saying? Not my heroes. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you know what I mean? What was that joke from the Boondocks? You know, but you see what I'm saying? Like it just don't matter. It's weird, it's creepy, and it jumps back to my point with Candace Owens. If Candace Owens does have information on that, then because from what I've seen, she's got receipts. She's got receipts. She's got receipts of allegedly. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how verifiable that information is, but she said she's got receipts. I don't know what to say, but it's ah uh that's one of those, that's one of those situations. But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. That meeting doesn't make Erica Kirk look any better. Uh, it doesn't. And then I also thought about this. I also thought Candace Owens may be upset that she she's not running TPUSA. So hey, But hey, like I said, my name Goku, just to pass the time. What do I know? Catch you later.